Here.
Director Lauer,
Here.
Director Watkins,
Here.
Director Dingy,
Here.
Director Taylor,
Here.
Chief Wortman.
Senator Chang, who did you call? Sorry, I think there was like a little delay. My audio was weird for a second.
Diana, you're on mute.
Yeah, Diane, you're muted right now.
sorry about that, everyone. Director Taylor,
Here.
Director Rodriguez,
Here.
Director Nepsui,
Here.
Director Aguinaga,
Here.
Senator Delzell,
Here.
Senator John,
Here.
Senator Chang, here. Senator Riley,
Here.
Senator Farland,
Here.
Senator Allen,
Here.
Senator Paris,
Here.
Senator Esperson,
Here.
Senator Klein,
Here.
Senator Evans,
Present.
Senator Campisi,
Here.
Senator Gomez,
Here.
Senator Lauderdale,
Here.
Senator Palucci,
Here.
Senator Suresh,
Here.
Senator Jackson,
Here.
and Advisor Factor Page.
Here.
Oh, sorry. Moving on to adoption of the agenda. Does anyone have any objections to the agenda as presented via Slack? Okay, seeing none, the agenda is adopted by unanimous consent. Do we have, moving on to public contributions? So Senator Chang, if you want to call on, I think we have one on the list.
Is Senator Chang in the waiting, or is she in?
I don't know. I think
Okay.
she,
I
yeah.
have her in the waiting room.
Okay, yeah, so we can just start with our first public contribution about the satellite pantry. So Lexi, if you wanted to talk about that a little bit, the floor is yours.
Okay. So hello, everyone. My name is Alexis Hamby. I am the new AmeriCorps Vista member working closely with Dr. D this semester in developing what will be the CARES Center. So super cool, really big win for Kent State University. And it stands for Crisis Advocacy Resources, Education, and Potentially Support. And basically this sort of center came up from a climate study that happened a few years ago, where students were indicating that their basic needs weren't met. So we are doing this center to kind of meet students where they're at and make sure that they have the resources they need in order to graduate on time. So my focus predominantly will be on food insecurity. I will be running a pantry on Fridays from 12 until 3, potentially Thursday too, but we're just kind of, gonna run through it and see how it goes this semester. So that's what I'm gonna do. Thank you guys so much for letting me speak to you, and I look forward to working with you.
Yes, thank you. Does anyone have any points of information for our guests?
Can I actually add to that as well?
Yes, go ahead.
I
Everybody. So baby Gail was also trying to say hello to all of you. I'll put it on social media. But I just also want to add that Lexi has been a phenomenal addition to the work that we're doing with the Care Center. It just went to the Board of Trustees today, so we're starting our development of that. Her work with the food insecurity as well as with the food pantry needs as much enhancement as possible. So if you know students who are in need, who are food insecure, that need resources, please let them know that our pantry is open on Fridays. They can sign up online. And for more information, they can email us at odos@ken.edu or go visit our COVID-19 emergency resource website.
And can I add just a brief bit too? So my major is nutrition and dietetics. So that's basically, a huge reason why I wanted to kind of go into this business. Also, I came from the University of Akron, so don't hold that against me. I always tell Kent students that. But basically, on that campus, we realized that food insecurity was a really big issue. I kind of did some research into it myself, and I dealt with it myself. So coming from that perspective and the perspective of a, nutritionist or dietitian or whatever, what have you, it definitely has been a passion of mine. So I look forward to making an impact for our students. And I worked with the undergraduate government for Lorain County Community College. I was their executive secretary. So I know you guys are a great resource to use to be able to, kind of bounce ideas off of you, and then also see how we can promote this to students moving forward. So when I say I look forward to working with you, I really do mean that. Your, advice and guidance is going to be very, crucial moving forward. So I appreciate ahead of time just using you guys as a platform to reach students. So.
Thank you so much. Yeah, does anyone have any information for guests before we move on? Okay. And just for everyone that's live streaming on YouTube, if you do have a public contribution, please utilize our form. That way, we can hear from you. So thank you. Now we're going to move on to reporting absences. And seeing none, we can move on to reading and approval of the minutes. So does anyone have any objections to the minutes from our meeting on September 2nd as presented in Slack? Okay. Seeing none, the minutes are adopted by unanimous consent. And Senator Chang, I think we can move on to reports.
President Moore.
Okay. So yes, hi everyone. I hope that you're having a great week. I've been working a lot with Chief Wortman and Director Gingy to handle some of our internal stuff. I know they've been working a lot on getting printing done. Senator Donzel's also working on helping them get this meeting set up and live streaming. So I really want to thank you both, you all a lot for working on that. And I see everyone else doing some really great projects. So I definitely want to shout out all of you. This is a great year. I mean, I know the circumstances are a little different, but I love seeing everyone working on so many different great things. So keep up the great work. So for me personally, I've been meeting with some local leaders to discuss the safety on campus and the climate. I had some meetings with some local representatives recently, and I have some more on the books. So just talking about ways we can make campus more safe and have students, engage in advocacy work in different capacities, which is great. I've also been working with administration on these same issues. I know the cameras getting up is something we just talked about, and we do have those up and running. So stay tuned for more information on that. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on the process and how we're doing with all those type of things, and reviews and code of conduct and all that. So that's primarily what I've been working on and what I'll continue to be working on. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, President Moore. Chief Wortman.
Hi, everyone. It is good to see you all again. I've been working closely with Tiara, Megan, and Kaylee and making sure that everything's going smoothly with the office. I also just wanted to say sorry for my attire. I'm currently in scrubs because I am at work, and I will have my video off temporarily, but I am here and I am listening. But the office is just about finished. You guys, if you've been in there since training week, have seen things go up on the wall, holes be patched, and things like that, things that Tiara and myself are not able to do. So we're really thankful to have those things done finally. I did want to talk about reports real quick. If you did submit a report after midnight, we did not include it on the agenda this week. And I just wanted to warn you guys of that. That is a rule that Tiara and I are going to be strict with, just because in the past, people will submit reports all the way up until right before the meeting, which we just can't have happening because the report or the agenda does get made on Monday and we edit it all the way till Wednesday. So make sure you're submitting those reports by midnight on Sunday. If you have 2 weeks of no report, we'll discuss the situation with you. President Moore and myself will. And after a third no report is when it's actually just out of our hands and we have to refer you to the All University Hearing Board because you're officially not meeting your scholarship requirements. Other than that, if you need to call off for in-person hours, just make sure that you're using the form that we presented in Slack. I pinned it to the office page, so you should be able to find it pretty easily. That's not something we're putting on the website just because it's not something that needs to be available to all the student body, just our members. So if you need that, it's in Slack, and if you can't find it, just reach out to me and I will send it to you again. I'm going to be ordering another round of placards and name tags as soon as we fill our vacancy, which is today. So I will get on that at some point this week or next. So if you have any issues with your name tag or placard or something's wrong, please let me know. And if you haven't picked those up, please pick them up as soon as possible. Other than that, I've just been working on our Blackboard, getting things organized, making sure our minutes get sent to higher admin and other things like that. And I also attended the protests and the town hall, and I loved being there. I thought they were all mildly successful, and it was a great time. Other than that, the Instagram takeovers I'm seeing, they are awesome. I'm really proud of you guys for taking the initiative to do those. That's something I log on to Instagram and see, and it just makes me very, very happy. But if you guys have any questions, just reach out to me, and I hope that school is going great for you guys.
Thank you, Chief Wortman. Director Lauer.
Thank you. So this past week, as I'm sure for a lot of people, was a whirlwind. I completed trainings with the Campus Election Engagement Project for my role with them. I also met with Hadia from Democracy Works to help her recruit students for our poll worker fellowship, which Diana actually took advantage of, so congrats. And then I prepared for National Voter Registration Day, which is next Tuesday, so that's really exciting. I also secured commitments from the Office of the President for promotional materials for Kent State Votes, including some flashline announcements, as well as some videos with higher administration. I'm also working with the Women's Center and the League of Women Voters on an event which is soon to come. It'll be a week after voter registration day. And then I'll be emailing out resources for our outreach day to members. Feel free to participate if you'd like. It's pretty easy and straightforward. We're just using email, text, social media to put out template directions on how to register to vote and how to vote this November. Yeah, that's all I have. So have a great rest of your week.
I have a point of information. I've had people reach out to me in regards to like TurboVote and how to access that. Where can I direct them in order to help them out with registering to vote?
Yeah, so TurboVote is not up and running yet. We've had some problems trying to get it through, but hopefully I'm just waiting on some university stuff to go through with IT. I can't say for sure when it'll be up and running, but as soon as it is, I will be releasing that and I can get back to them. But if they want to register to vote before that, you can direct them to my email. If they want a meeting with me, they can use my Calendly to sign up. Thank you.
Thanks.
Director Watkins.
Hey everyone, so this past week I've been meeting with our advisor, Mrs. Factor Page, and our middle agent about potential concerts and things that we could do this semester. And we are in the process of having a homecoming. We are in the process of basically having a homecoming concert virtually, but we're in the process of having that solidified. We're still looking for more updates on that, but I'm still looking for more virtual concerts and other ideas for the semester, even if they are virtual, just to help give students another aspect to be engaged about. And that's basically all I have. So for my programming update, there are 3, as of right now, my main ideas are to have 3 virtual events or concerts. One will be next month during homecoming week, which would be a concert, then a program in November, and a program in December. That's all that I have.
Thank you. Director Dingy?
Hey everyone. So these past few weeks, I've mainly been focused on finishing up some things pertaining to the office, as Tierra and Drake said. Printing is ready to go, and I'm glad that student orders can begin utilizing this again. If you do have in-person hours, please be sure to keep up with the process and make sure we're getting those done. I met with Craig Berger, the Assistant Director of Community Engaged Learning, to discuss potential partnerships regarding student involvement opportunities and service within their office. I should have more details coming on that soon. We're having another meeting this week. I would like to begin marketing the funds that we have that our organizations can apply for up to $200 to engage to help offset smaller expenses. I was thinking this could be helpful for organizations to afford remote expenses such as Zoom accounts. Director Rodriguez is assisting me in formulating a marketing plan for that fund. And once we begin posting about it, which should be soon, I would love if you all could just help spread the word. This isn't in my report, but I did hold interviews on Monday to fill the vacancy. I appreciate everyone that stopped in to help out with that. And I'm excited to hopefully fill that tonight. And lastly, I just want to say how amazing it was to see so many of you at the protest in the town hall last week. The experience was very moving and unmatched. And I'm so glad that we can support such an important issue. But our work doesn't stop there. So let's keep up the energy and have a great week, everyone.
Thank you. Director Taylor?
Hello, everyone. The past week, I've been doing a lot of work with the Senior VP and Provost Search Committee, which has been a very fast and very, very busy process. Also met with Senator Gomez for a transition meeting into his position. And also for this week's report, I was asked by President Moore, Chief Wortman, and Advisor Factor Page to give a brief update on Judicial Advocate Program. So over the summer, judicial advocates met with students 5 times over the summer. To date, when I had this report turned in, we had about 3 requests so far this semester. I think maybe 5 or 6 now. At the moment, we only have a couple judicial advocates, but I met with Britton McNulty from the Office of Student Conduct to talk about new judicial advocates and the training that they'll be doing for 2020-2021 academic year. And if anyone's ever interested, judicial advocate trainings only lasts an hour. Maybe that's something we could set up for like the entire USG to do or something. It's only an hour and we're looking for some more people.
Thank you. Director Rodriguez, no report. Director Nepswe?
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day and a good week. I have a couple updates. The first is I've been working with the chair of the Faculty Senate to help create a satisfaction survey for students related to their classes and academic experiences. I know I've reached out to the senators of each academic college just to kind of get a feedback from them and other senators across campus. Also, there are some updates from Faculty Senate. Just because it was yesterday, I don't have them in the report, but we discussed a pass-fail option for students, which updates will be to come. And the university is also working on plans just in case they do have to go fully remote later on in the semester. There's this tier plan that's all structured for certain students in certain classes. So please be aware and prepared just in case the university does have to, but currently it sounds like everything's pretty positive. I also have been aiding Director Dingy with the Director of Community Affairs Search. She did an amazing job on it, so snaps to her. I've also been working with Senator Evans on some legislation that addressed some of the racist actions that have been happening on campus, and she's been doing some amazing work with it. So shout out to her as well. I've been working with the Green Dot legislation and transitioning Senator Jackson to be the chair of the committee, and I have like this big document that she's, I'm sure, so excited to get to dissect and go through. And then I've also been working on various media and legislation projects for the Committee on Health, and today we'll be having a first reading of legislation later on. I sent it in the Slack if you would like to have a reading beforehand, just to get a little bit of a gist, but I'll read it at the end with the announcements. And finally, I've been trying to operationalize the senators and communicating with them through the Slack channel. Just recently, I sent out a Google form, so please fill that out, whether you're a senator or director, to talk about your committee involvement, and please have it into me ASAP. If you guys do not have it to me within like next week or 2, I will start calling you out. Thank you so much, and I appreciate everything. Have a great week. Go Flashes.
Thank you. Director Aguinaga, no report. Senator Dalzell?
Hi, everyone. Hope you have all had a good week.
I did want to start off by saying it was great to work with Kaylee and the others, figuring out Zoom and working through that, and hopefully it works well today and moving forward. I did want to first talk about the podcast and that the first episode is ready to be published. I know we're waiting on our legislation and that to go through, but at least on our end, it's ready to go, which I'm very excited about. I'm very excited to hear from Thomas and Sydney about what they plan to talk about. In addition, I've had conversations with the student orgs within my college and talk about ways that not only they can collaborate, but get engagement from freshmen and students throughout our college. And I've also had conversations with our dean and also the former associate dean and director of interior design, talking about ways in which the College of Architecture can participate in this wider conversation of race and what we can do in our position as leaders of the built environment. And lastly, I think that's all I have to say today. And yes, stay safe.
Thank you. Senator John?
Hello, everyone. Last week, I attended a meeting with the Dean Student Advisory Council of College of the Arts, where I learned about their goals for the semester and their actions after all the recent events. I was able to get involved with the initiative of Dr. Ellington, who is the interim assistant dean and the director for diversity initiatives for the College of the Arts. She has started this BIPOC safe space for all the students, faculty, and staff of color in College of the Arts, where she would host sessions every first and third Tuesday. And yesterday we had our first session. So if you have friends in College of the Arts, do please let them know, because we are looking to have more people come in. And we will be inviting student leaders from different organizations as well to talk about their experiences. There's also a new student organization in the fashion school that's called the Fashion Collective, and they have built a collaborative community for all fashion students on Slack. And I met them on Monday to talk about how I can contribute and help them get funds for the semester, because they're very new and they're still learning how to do things as a student organization. And I will be working with them to increase connectivity in the College of the Arts. And I'm also working on creating a social media profile for the College of the Arts, as we don't have anything right now. So that was all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Chang. Hello, everyone. I want to apologize for earlier. My screen completely froze. But the previous week, I finished the graphic for the mental health podcast. I finished my recruitment committee recruitment flyer, and I'll be putting out the application soon. I had my first governmental affairs meeting held by Director Lauer. I am now a fellow for Democracy Works, and I received a response back from the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, and I'm looking forward to having my first meeting with her to discuss the future of the college. And I attended the protest last week. Senator Riley.
Hello, everyone. I hope that everyone had a great last week. Our last meeting on Wednesday was actually our first meeting for the Period Project Committee, which I am the chair of. So that was very exciting. I am very excited to see all the opportunities that are presenting itself with the committee. Personally, I am really looking forward to developing the app and to looking into more sustainable products. I am also working on, as a senator for the College of Business Administration, working on putting together a resource packet for students. And I'm also working on contacting the Living Learning community and the first year experience classes to be able to introduce myself and be more involved with my students.
Thank you. Senator Farland, no report. Senator Allen.
Hello, everyone. Over the last week, I was sort of finishing up my recruitment for my committee. I'm up to 8 members, and I started reaching out to them, gathering data about their availability, and I began to plan for my first committee meeting. I also published the senatorial committee website, Also, I had my meeting with my dean, and that went pretty well. We discussed the plan for the upcoming semester and what each of our roles were going to be in that. And I also reached out to the EHHS Instagram to do a takeover. However, I haven't heard back. But that's about it. Thank you.
Senator Paris.
Hey everyone. This week I began to finalize the members of my senatorial committee, sent out a survey with a few questions for each of them regarding additional information about them and what they believe are some potential new plans, events, or initiatives that would be well received by the honors students. I hope that by the end of this week I can have my committee fully finalized and approved through USG, as well as appoint a vice chair within the committee. I'm excited to start working with my committee and get the ball rolling on some projects.
Thank you. Senator Esperson.
Hey everyone, it's good to see you all again. Last week, I spent a lot of time preparing for my Instagram takeover of the Kent Nursing account, making sure my posts are somewhat interesting, informative, and intentful. It started on Monday and will be over Saturday evening, so I'm currently in the middle of it, and I would say it's going pretty well. I'm hoping it shows a lot of people about what USG is and helps build people's interest in us as an organization. I'm still working on building up my committee, so I'm hoping it helps get some interest in that as well. And I've also been spending some time thinking about ways I can show support and appreciation for the nursing students, who are students, but at the same time, frontline workers in the clinic. So I'll be spending some time fleshing out a plan for that as well. And that's all for me. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Senator Klein.
Well, I can't. Hello? Hear me?
Yeah, Senator Klein, your audio is going a little bit in and out, but I heard that.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. But over this past week, I've been trying to find ways that I can fund different governmental that students brought to my attention by the government. It's a kind of complicated process, but trying to work with report on that, maybe that tuition or flight fees. I haven't heard back from that a whole here this week. But that's about it.
Senator Evans.
Hi, everyone. I've just been working on legislation. It's been a lot of moving parts, and I've been very much a historian trying to get every one of this moving parts down. That attended the protest on Thursday. Also, last week attended a public health conference hosted by the CDC about public health ethics and ethical dilemmas in rural areas. So that was very insightful, and it was nice being able to network with different people within the public health field and learn different things about what makes a rural area and just everything that comes with it. Furthermore, I will be scheduling meetings with advisor Megan Factor Page and Jessica from the Fraternity and Sorority Life Office, just to keep everybody updated with this moving legislation. Lastly, I'm very excited for the Committee on Health and our podcast finally pushing its way through like basically the grass into a beautiful flower. So I'm excited to see it grow. That, and I meet with my dean and assistant dean tomorrow. So public health college events will be coming out very soon. So I'm very excited. Everybody has an invite to the party. Thank you.
Senator Campisi.
Hello, everyone. This week, I spoke to the president of Kent's Commuter and Off-Campus Student Organization, COSO, about joining their committee for their interview process to find new executive board members for this upcoming school year. I'm excited about that because I have been trying to get in contact with her since I got this position. We also discussed about future collaborations together. I had my first committee meeting with the Office of the Provost about filtering potential candidates to fill the vacancy of the dual role for Vice President of Regional Campuses and Dean of Applied Technical Studies. We have our first round of interviews at the end of September. That was a very long process, but it was very insightful, so I'm glad I got the opportunity to do that. I'm still working on promoting the Instagram account ConnectCat, which allows students to meet other fellow students at like the surrounding complexes at Kent, apartment complexes, or just student commuters who live in the same area as each other.
Thank you. Senator Gomez.
Thank you. On Tuesday, I attended my first KIC meeting where I introduced myself, talked about USG, and shared the link to the application for my senatorial committee. On Wednesday, I met with Chanel, a former member of USG. She gave me advice and insight regarding student government, and I joined the committee she's chairing on, the Committee on Health. And as Director Taylor said, I met with him for a transition meeting. It was a very productive meeting where I learned about the administration and how he set up his committee. Yesterday, I created a flyer for my senatorial committee, which was shared both on the KIC and USG social medias. Earlier today, I met with Jill Jenkins, the Director of Resident Services. We both have the same sentiment with recent events that we want to take action. Resident Services has a lot of great ideas for programming and programming surrounding social justice advocacy and education. And we came up with a three-pronged approach for fostering safe and inclusive communities. I encourage everyone to attend KIC's meeting on Tuesday at 7 p.m. to find out the first phase of that plan that we're working on. And if anyone's interested in advocating for change in the residence halls, please join my committee. And if you have any questions, let me know, and have a great rest of your week. Thank you.
Senator Lauderdale.
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's been having a relaxing weekend and also staying safe. Just for my updates, I actually touched base with Dean Pringle. We met actually 2 times, and we're going over some main ideas and ways to interact with the exploratory students this year, since all their events are virtual for the living learning community. Along with that, we're also going over details for our upcoming meeting in October, which is the exploratory student ambassadors meeting. And I also wanted to pitch in that if anyone's interested, we will be starting to open up the meetings to more people soon. You don't have to be exploratory to join. So if you just want to hear more about University College and our initiatives, you can do that as well. Going into that, since students aren't having convocation this year, we decided to start giving out t-shirts to the exploratory students. So I've been working on that with Dean Pringle. I've been folding all the t-shirts and holding those for students. And then for this week, I'm actually meeting with her again, and we're going to be going over our next activity, which is hopefully a survey / video we're going to be making for all the exploratory students. And I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to Chaslyn. She invited me to join her on her panel with Dr. Lamar Hilton and some other administratives. And I was able to share just like my experiences in the Excel living learning community and as an exploratory student. It was really fun. So shout out to Chaz for just doing that for me and always including everyone and just being a great leader. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Palucci.
Hi, everyone. This week, I met with my senatorial committee for the first time to discuss some questions to ask during a meeting that I had with Melanie Knowles and Leah Graham, who are Kent State's sustainability representatives. I had the meeting with them and to discuss the upcoming year and the feedback I received from students, and they helped me to learn some of Kent's current initiatives so that I can kind of narrow my perspective on different projects that I wanted to work on this semester. I also mentioned that I had a lot of students requesting a more sustainable soup container option at some of the dining locations on campus. So Ms. Knowles said that she would begin to work to have a reusable soup container as the standard. So I'll keep you updated on that. I'm also going to be working with Senator Riley to research some sustainable menstrual products for the period project. This week, I'm going to be working with Ms. Graham and the Kent Rec Center to have more recycling containers placed throughout the rec. I actually scheduled a meeting with Kim Rufra at the rec to walk through the building and give her some feedback and discuss the current sustainability initiatives there. Also today I spoke with Leah Graham and she informed me that the sustainability themed community has been approved by Resident Services for the academic year of 2021 to 22. I believe a past USG member, Wyatt Rami, advocated for this community. So it'll be similar to a living learning community, and it'll focus on making progress on sustainability with personal commitment and systematic change. So I'll give you more information as I continue to meet with Ms. Graham. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Senator Suresh.
Hello, everyone. I hope everybody has a good week. I had a meeting with the Assistant Dean of College of Business, and we were going over with setting up scholarships for international students. Currently, there's probably 4 scholarships, which kind of require students to be US citizens. So we're trying to avoid that and then create a new scholarship for international students. I've been in meetings with the Office of Global Education. They're planning for a virtual event for the next year. And with new information coming about COVID, the Director of International Students Affairs is trying to set up international students COVID-19 task force, which I'm part of. We're still in the planning phases, but it's been going pretty good. We're looking for other student organizations to join the committee and try to improve with their ideas, or if they could spread the word that there is an organization trying to help everybody during this hard time. But that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Jackson.
Hello, everyone. I really hope that you are all doing well during these eventful times. I know myself been struggling a little bit, but I've been incorporating some more time for self-care. So I advise all of you really stay on top of that. We come first. We can't do our job unless we are filled with whatever we need to do to refill ourselves. So yes, I actually had a meeting with the director of the LGBTQ+ Center, Ken, and along with Director Watkins and Director Dingy. So we are actually planning a big, like a big watch party for the movie 13th. If any of you heard of it, it's definitely going in deeper of the impact and legacy of slavery in our prison systems and incarceration systems. So we're basically just marketing this event to further continue the conversation on race and education on systemic racism. So be on the lookout for that. Those flyers is moving pretty fast. We have our next meeting coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. Be sure to definitely drop it in the Slack group chat. I also assisted in organizing the protests that took place both on Thursday and Friday with our Black United students. As you are all aware, a lot of you were there. Shout out for y'all being strong allies. It's so beautiful to see that. And just like a vulnerable moment, like just as a Black student and seeing y'all there, it definitely meant more than you think. So just happy that our allies are really, they're with us and they get it. So thank you so much for coming out. I also went to the protest that took place Monday, 2 days ago, that was put on together as well by Black United students in our Alpha fraternity, part of the Divine Nine. I met with Marquise Davis. He is the new project coordinator for diversity, equity, inclusion, also known as DEI, along with Tasia Hines, who is the president of BUS, and Patrick Ferguson, who is the VP of our IGC. Sid, Integrated Greek Council. There we go, bet. I think talking too fast. So I also met with those 3. We are actually in the midst of putting together a security program for Black students. As you know, our safety has been definitely threatened and is going to continue to be threatened as elections near. So we are putting together a security program for Black students specifically, and that'll look like more collaboration with our athletes on campus, our Black Greek life, and further just Black students who are predominantly, whoever wants to volunteer, just helping continue the safety both on and off campus. We're going to be reaching out for those who are living in apartments as well. So I'm really excited to see the turnout of that. We have our second meeting this week. And that's all I have for you all. Again, just stay safe and healthy. We're in the middle of 2 pandemics right now. So really, really look out for yourselves and each other. Thank you.
Thank you. And Advisor Factor Page.
Hi, everyone. You've definitely been keeping me busy in the last week, and I appreciate it. It's exciting because you're all doing awesome stuff. So it's exciting work that I get to do for sure. I've had many meetings with everybody. I just want to remind you that I have that Calendly link that you can set up with me, and I'm happy to meet with you or revise things with you as well. Let's see, Ethan mentioned the turbo vote contract, and we're practically through a 2-week vendor approval right now, which we're working through a security concern and some accessibility settings. So everyone I've talked to in the process, and there are many, many hands that go through a contract, especially when it has to do with technology and safety and security, that are excited about this. So that's not any kind of holdup that you should ever be worried about. But we do need to analyze every product that we promote and purchase so that we're directing students to something that's safe and secure to use. So we're partially through that project. I'm working through that and keeping Ethan up to date. I've sat in on the Director of Community Affairs interviews this week, which were wonderful to be a part of. I met with Joel, Kaylee, and Katie about our Zoom issues that we have for public meetings. I met with Jake this week about allocations, Kaylee about a couple projects, Brandon about the Judicial Advocate Program, my regular meetings with Tiara, and then Jariah about getting the homecoming event up and running. So again, keeping me busy, but I'm happy because it's all good stuff. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. So moving on to unfinished business and general orders. And seeing none, we can move on to our new business for tonight.
Motion to appoint Marissa Trubach as the Director of Community Affairs.
I second that motion.
Okay, thank you. Any debate? And I guess I'll start the debate just saying that I did give Director Dingy the okay to head these interviews. You know, I have a lot going on, and like she's my vice chair, and so I felt that giving Director Dingy the okay to head this process was something good, you know, and I know she did invite cabinet as well. So I just want to let you guys know why Director Dingy was in charge of these interviews, and I really thank her for her support through this. So any
Thanks,
more debate?
Tiara. I guess I can speak on it for a moment, just so you guys have some context of who we're appointing. So we interviewed, I think, 7 or 8 people. So we had a nice selection to go through. But when it came down to it, we saw a lot of passion and drive within Marissa. Although she doesn't have a lot of USG experience yet, I think that she's going to be a really good person for the position. She's actually already attended a meeting that Megan kind of threw her into the next day because we needed someone to be there. And she did amazing with it. And I'm really excited for you guys to get to know Marissa. And I promise you, she is a great person for this job.
So do we have any more debate? And just so you guys are aware too, I was able to sit on this interview, and so did Director Taylor. So, you know, there was some other people involved in this decision. But if anyone has any points of information or any more debate right now, please say, you know, raise your hand. Okay, seeing no more debate, then I think we can move on to voting. So if you would like to vote yes on appointing Marissa as our new Director of Community Affairs, please raise your hand or your placard if you have it on hand.
Do you want us to do the hand raise feature too, or just on the screen?
Yeah, please put the hand raise feature as well, just to make it easier for Megan. Thank you. Yeah, and please keep your hand raised on screen too, because I know the little hand raising goes away after a second, so I just want Megan to be able to count it. Thank you, guys.
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Please lower your hands. If you'd like to vote no on appointing Marissa to the Director of Community Affairs position, please raise your hands. Okay, and do we have any abstentions at this time? Please raise your hand.
Motion passes.
Okay, cool. Motion passes. So congratulations, Marissa. Are you here? You're here, right? We still need the oath of office. I don't see you on my screen.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Hi. So we're about to do the oath of office. Sorry. I will now administer the oath of office to you and ask that you commit yourself to serving the undergraduate student body at Kent State University. So please raise your right hand and then please respond with "I will." So will you fulfill to the best of your ability all duties and responsibilities of your position as a Kent State University undergraduate student government representative?
I will.
Will you endeavor to properly and fairly represent all students and work with faculty, administrators, and alumni to promote the strengthen Kent State University, our community, state, and nation?
I will.
Will you be a mentor to the students who look to you for guidance and support?
I will.
And will you pledge to serve your fellow students and community by your actions and concerns for the common good?
I will.
Okay, you may now officially assume your duties as our Director of Community Affairs and a representative of the student body at Kent State University. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Congrats. Okay. And moving on to our next item on new business.
Motion for first reading of the bill.
Okay. Do we have a second for that motion?
Second.
Okay. And so I think we can move on to the first reading. So
Sweet. It's going to be kind of long, but I'll try to be quick with my words. So, and if you want to follow along, I linked it in the Slack. But yeah, I'll give like a quick read through, and the next week we can vote on it. So essentially, this is a bill to establish social media platforms adjunct to USG through the Committee on Health. Whereas USG's purpose is to advocate for student voices and provide vital resources to the university community, the Committee on Health finds an importance in establishing alternative social media platforms to spread awareness of various events and programs planned by the committee. Whereas the Committee on Health recognizes USG already has social media presences, we, the committee, see an importance of separating our pre-existing platforms operated by USG for the purpose of streamlining resources, particularly directed towards various student health resources. Thus, the committee seeks to design platforms on social media accounts such as Instagram, Twitter, and Anchor that are adjunct to USG and the USG brand, but continue to provide health resources to students and not clutter the pre-existing accounts. Therefore, be it enacted by the undergraduate student senate of the Kent campus of Kent State University, acting in full session as follows. Section 1, the USG Committee on Health shall promote health literacy on Kent campus. Section 2, the goal of the promotion will be done by establishing the On My Mind podcast, Committee on Health social media accounts, and hosting events related to student health and well-being. Section 2A, we will use our presence on social media to create meaningful and educational posts regarding mental health topics and tips to handle day-to-day mental health issues. Section 2B, the platforms will be utilized for continuation of Mental Health Week and coordinate various other resources to students with the goal of reducing the stigma associated with mental health related issues. Section 2C, USG and the Committee on Health will prioritize mental health and their student first initiatives by organizing various de-stress events. Section 3, the committee recognizes the importance of student presence and mental health discussion on behalf of their peers and advancement of the Kent State's culture of care. The USG Committee on Health sent out a survey called the On My Mind to reach out to students to collect their voices and stories in the form of creative media, art, poems, and short stories, song lyrics, etc. The goal is to amplify the words of students' mental health experiences at Kent State that cannot be justified only quantitatively. Section 3A, the submission from the ongoing On My Mind survey will be a social media campaign that will be initiated through Instagram. With this campaign, we hope to create a community on campus that is mindful of mental health of their fellow students, no matter if they know them or not. The goal is to use the creativity as an outlet to grasp the attention of our students, spread awareness of various mental health issues that vary student to student, and destigmatize mental health on campus. Section 4, be that the multiple platforms will be utilized to promote the Committee on Health's projects/initiatives, university health resources, and student-led submissions that will be used to promote creative outlets for good mental health and a culture of care on campus. Please refer to the links for further information And we have some American Psychiatric Association links, the Trevor Project, and activeminds.org, which have links and resources about mental health and awareness, et cetera, et cetera. Sweet, thank you so much. And then for next public meeting, we can put that to a vote. If you have any questions or comments or concerns or think this is dog doo-doo, please direct those to me and we can adjust it and fix it. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Does anyone have a point of information at this time? Okay, seeing none, then I think we can move on. Yes, as Thomas said, we'll be doing a second reading of that bill and voting on it at our next public meeting. So thank you, guys. Seeing no farther new business, I think we can move on to the good of the order.
President Moore,
Oh, yes, Director?
I have a motion.
Okay.
I move to adopt amendments to the USG bylaws.
Second.
Okay, do we have any debate on this?
So if there are no questions, I can still go over some of the updates. Most of these updates come through allocations. A thing that we did is just ensure that the procedures that I follow align with the USG bylaws. So a lot of what we did was just some word changes. An important thing to recognize is that we adjusted the amount of allocations for a conference from 3,000 to 5,000. The reasoning is so that it allows more people to attend the same conference. A problem we ran into last year was that we'd have one organization take up all the allotted $3,000 for one conference. So that would prevent individuals from attending that conference. So this kind of solves that problem by allotting more money to one specific conference. So that's one of the bigger changes. Another thing we did was change a little bit of the wording for some of the more restrictive organizations. We basically allowed them to attend leadership conferences. Due to the fact that they're restrictive, and they don't allow all undergraduate students, we couldn't give them the same opportunity that we would give organizations that do include every single undergraduate student. Just because every student pays these fees, we need to be inclusive. So by allowing these exclusive to just go for leadership training, it still brings value to Kent State. And that's something we look for when allocating money to different organizations and students. Just to quickly go through some of the other updates and bylaws, a lot of it just comes down to a change in wording. So I don't know, I can read through each portion of that. If not, I can send that into Slack right now to be reviewed. Brandon, if you want to touch on anything that we might have changed that you remember that might have more significance, feel free to chime in.
Do we have any more debate? I see Director Dingy has her placard raised.
Yeah, I just have a point of information. Were these shared with us prior to the meeting?
The updates were not shared prior to the meeting, but they are available through Google Drive, I believe.
Do we have any other points of information for debate at this time? Okay, seeing none, then I think we can move on to vote since this is a bylaw amendments and we don't need a second reading. So if you would like to vote yes on making these amendments to our bylaws, please raise your placard at this time, and also please use the hand raise function. Thank you. Please keep your hand raised, guys. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Please lower them. If you'd like to vote no on making these amendments to our bylaws, please raise your hand at this time or placard. Okay, and any abstentions? Okay, it looks like the motion passes. Am I correct, Megan? Yes. So the motion passes. So these amendments have been made. I would definitely ask you, Director, to like post these in Slack so everyone can review them. Yeah, and do we have any other new business for today? I know that was on the agenda, but anyone else has a motion to make? Okay, seeing none, I think we can move on for the good of the order. So if you have something for good of the order, please raise your placard at this time. Dr. Dingy?
I just wanted to shout out Senator Chaz for doing such a great job at the town hall. I was very impressed, and I sat there and listened, and she was giving him the work, but she was doing it in the USG fashion.
Yes, thank you. Anyone else for the good of the order? I mean, I'll give one right now. I definitely want to shout out all of you guys because I know personally I had a pretty rough week last week, you know, dealing with all the stuff with the rock, as Chaz said, like as a Black woman, that affects me a little bit differently, you know, and it's a hard thing to deal with. But seeing you guys do so much great work this week really rejuvenated me, and I'm really happy that you guys are all on the board this year. So shout out to everyone, and including Megan Factor Page, because I know like she's helped me a lot too. Do anything else for the good of the order? Okay, I think seeing none, we can move on to announcements. And I know me and Chief Wortman gave some of you guys some time because we didn't know if you would get through everything during your report. But Director Taylor, if you have anything else to add about the judicial advocates, I mean, honestly, I'd maybe recommend explain that a little bit for our new members because I'm not sure if everyone knows what that program is. But the floor is yours.
Okay, so the Judicial Advocate Program was a program put in place by USG quite some time ago. And it's used as like when a student allegedly violates the code of conduct, they have a conduct hearing and they're able to choose whether they have a student advocate or a judicial advocate to serve as a conduct advisor for them, just to give them like information on how the process goes, possible sanctions. And I mean, everything is different with each case, but they pretty much just serve as moral support and just to educate them on the process. It's a really beneficial program to students, and it helps them like, you know, obviously whenever a student like violates the code of conduct, they're like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get kicked out. And it's nice to like be able to have someone there that's going to educate them and show them like, well, you're probably not, but let's make sure we learn from whatever mistake that you may or may not have done. So that's what they're really there for, is just to give moral support and educate on the process.
Thank you, Director Taylor. If no one has any points of information, Director Watkins, I don't know if you had wanted to give any other updates about programming. If not, you're fine, but we just want to give you some time outside the report if needed. No, you're good? Okay, cool. Thank you so much. And moving on to Director Aguanaga.
Hello? Okay, sorry, they took a second. I do have some updates for you guys. So starting, I guess this week, I'll explain the Student First Funding Request process. I guess there's been some questions in relation to that, and I just wanted to sort of create a step-by-step process to make sure you guys know how you can request for these funding. This year we have $42,000 for future USG proposals. I'll go kind of step-by-step explanation. It's not too long. It will be posted hopefully on Blackboard and Google Drive pretty soon here so that you guys can follow along these steps in preparation for these requests by next week. So step one, really what it is just you're creating your legislation, but there's some things that you have to include within this legislation. One of those being costs and expenses. You really want to make sure you have that listed out, where that money is being spent and how it's being used. Another thing in related to legislation is whether there's going to be a contract involved or not. Something we're trying not to do though is involve multi-year contracts, just because since we're all elected for 1 year, we don't want to really be force USG to be in a position where they can't make changes for the following year. Another thing in related to legislation is you're supposed to specify how it's going to be purchased, whether it's through credit card, invoice, or internal Kent State billing. So that covers step one. Following step one, you will have to meet with Megan Factor-Page in order to bring legislation to the floor. She'll kind of run through your legislation with you and whether it follows the legality reasons or not. Then step three would be to meet with myself. I'll be co-sponsoring the bill. So once you get past Megan, I'll go through and review it myself. And after receiving a co-sponsor and approval, you can introduce the legislation at the next public meeting. This is prior to voting. And then step five would be bringing that legislation again to the following public meeting in order to be voted on. So these 5 steps will be available for you guys to look at when need be. Is there any questions in related to the student first funding request process? No. Okay. In addition to that, so something I've been working on is doing a Q&A for allocations. I guess I've heard that some people have had questions in related to allocations, but I don't expect everyone to know every single bylaw of the allocations committee and how that works. So what will come out soon is a Q&A to answer as many of these questions as it can. And if there isn't an answer on this sheet, you can always direct them to the allocation site where my contact information is. I'm also going to need your guys' help with this though, because if there's questions being asked, you should definitely forward them to me, because I don't really know what people are wondering when they have questions. Like if someone calls the office and I'm not there to answer it, if you guys could keep track of that question, just so I know what people are looking for and what they don't know the answer to, that'll help me out when creating these questions and answers, and it'll help you guys out so you're not kind of sitting there like, oh shoot, like I don't know the answer to this and I don't know who to direct them to. But I guess for first thing you could do is direct to the Q&A questions, and then Q&A, and then direct them towards my contact information on the Kent State USG website. So feel free to reach out to me with any questions that either you have or a student you spoke to may have. And I guess the last part of my announcements is allocations updates. So far we have had no requests. It's a little disappointing, but I guess with COVID going on, it's a big incentive of people requesting for allocations was always to go to conferences across the country and networking and presenting research. And I think that because everything is online, we can no longer travel, it's become a bit more difficult and less incentivized for people to make these requests. This isn't going to stop me though from still reaching out to student organizations and the deans of colleges and other people in order to make sure that we can still provide these opportunities for students. With that being said, I still encourage everyone to inform everyone they know about allocations and these opportunities that they have available to them. Even if they are online conferences, there's still a lot you can take from that, and a lot of value can be created for Kent State as a whole. I think that really covers my announcements for this week. You thought you could escape me talking with no report, but not today. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Director. Yes, and definitely please get the students first stuff posted. I know this process is a little bit different than it was last year, so I want everyone to be able to utilize that funding for their projects because I know you guys are working on some great stuff. Okay, so moving on to our last announcement of the day, we have Director Rodriguez.
Hi, everyone. So you should have gotten an email from me this week again about the Calendly links. I ask that you please send those to me, create an account, send those to me because I am updating the website. There should be a little, if you have sent it to me, there should be a little button under your headshot in your office hours that should have your Calendly link. And then also, I also wanted to bring up what Chaz was talking about when it comes to mental health and everything going on. I know that last week was really heavy on a lot of us. And I ask that we please be aware of people's office hours, take advantage of that. They should be all updated on the website. If I have not updated it, I will do it by Friday. We are all very busy during this pandemic, and it might seem like we're not, that we are very available because we have so many things at home. But a lot of us are busy, so please be aware of those office hours if you are requesting work to be done. Going off of that, I did create a Google form link that I just put in the group chat right now, the Zoom group chat. And that is pretty much just for, just so I can be more organized, and I'll be looking at that Google form every week so that you guys can request communication and marketing related requests on that Google form. I also ask that these requests be done a week, at least a week in advance. I ask for more time just so that you can get the most out of the marketing aspect of the social media, and so that we can get the word out as soon as possible, and so that I can have time to create any flyers that you might not know how to make or whatever. And so please look at that, and I will also put it into the Slack room, as well as I will be sending another email. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Director Rodriguez. Definitely please put that in Slack so everyone has that at their disposal, because I want everyone to be able to utilize the form just so we keep everything organized. Before we move on to adjournment, do we have any other announcements today that are not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, then I think we can move on to adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, so if you'd like to adjourn the meeting today at 6:42 p.m., please raise your placard. And keep your hands raised.
Good.
Okay, and if you'd like to vote no on adjourning right now, please raise your placard. Okay, and any abstentions? Okay, looks like the motion passes. So we are adjourned for today. Thank you guys so much for all your hard work. And I'll see you all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.